The Hilltop Glove podcast is sponsored by Mid Carolina Service Company.
Mid Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today.
This episode of the Hilltop Glove podcast is powered by Caddy Pack, the artist making waves with a sound that's bold, creative, and unmistakably universal. If you love music with flavor, edge, and personality, you need to lock in with her today. Hit caddypack.com to stream the music, watch visuals, and grab merch. That's caddypack.com. Don't play yourself, go run it up.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Hilltop Glove podcast. Today, we're joined by two powerful creative forces, Andrea, Digital Draya Lashay, and Rockelle Love. Digital Draya is a Columbia-born storyteller and creative strategist whose work sits at the intersection of culture, healing, and community. Through branding, strategy, and narrative, she helps artists and small businesses strengthen their voice and visibility. She is also the founder of Pharm Project, a social impact initiative blending art and agriculture to support the emotional well-being of artists and farmers. Rockelle Love is a Columbia native performance and sensory artist who uses movement, sound, and holistic healing to guide people back to themselves. As the inaugural face of First Thursday on Main, she curates monthly experiences that center mindfulness, creativity, and self-love through offerings like the Color Flow Experience, Love Self Sanctuary, and the Frequency Lounge. Together, these women lead Pharm Project, connecting farmers and artists to often isolated groups whose work nourishes the world. Stay tuned as we explore the unexpected but powerful relationship between art and agriculture. I like that.
I do
better that time.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's good stuff.
getting into it, obviously, if you all could just tell the audience who you are.
Yeah.
And what it is you do, and then we'll have a great conversation from there. We'll start over here.
Yes. My name is Andrea Lashay. I go by Draya, Digital Draya on all social media platforms. I'm from South Carolina, mainly Columbia. Went to Ridgeview High School. Shout out to the Blazers.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
But my roots are in Barnwell County. My family is from Williston and Blackville, South Carolina. So if you guys have ever heard of Healing Springs, that is where my family is from, deep down in the country.
Okay.
So my background is in storytelling, digital content production. Initially, I was a digital content producer before that was a thing. I grew up very, very isolated. I'm the oldest of four, but my mom had us in the house and on strict schedules. So I was behind the screen a lot, writing, editing, and just, creating things in the digital space. So it started there. I managed a couple of fan pages for Tyler Perry. So a lot of my ideas was on Tyler Perry's House of Pain when I was 14, 15 years old. Tyler, you owe me some money. And that led me into studying mass communication. So I studied mass communications at SC State University, graduated from there, and then I went into my career in broadcast journalism at Watch Fox 57, and just have continued to work in the storytelling space from PR, marketing, social media, management, things of that nature. So it's a little bit about Miss Digital Draya.
Awesome. Miss Love.
Hi, everyone. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rockelle. Okay. I'm sorry. I am supposed to look at the camera. You know, I have to do this before. I have to
No,
mess
you
up a
can
couple
talk to
times.
us.
I
You
don't.
talk to us. It's fine.
It's just there. If you want to tell the people something specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to get my giggles out. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rockelle Love. And I'm a little bit of everything. I consider myself to be an onion. I have several layers, as we all should. And I originally come from Chicago, Illinois, Hazel Crest, to be specific, South Side. And my family, my grandmother, my aunt, and my mom moved us to the South when I was probably around six years old. And moving here was definitely a journey because I've always been encouraged to be my authentic self. My grandmother always reminded me how unique I've always been, and to make sure that I didn't allow outside voices to affect who I am at my core. So moving into the South, where a lot of times people are fixated to be a specific type of way, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it affects the children. So that's what I had a chance of experiencing growing up, all sides of that. So as soon as I graduated from Lower Richland, I went to R&E for a little bit, played volleyball, was the head of JV. I was on varsity. I played AAU, travelings team. I was 13 on the 18s team. I really...
Okay.
So there was a couple schools in the Irmo area that wanted to literally get my mom to pull me. Trying to offer my mom money for me to go.
Stop talking about what we do here. Yeah, it's real.
They do it everywhere.
I know,
it's
but,
just
They wanted to offer her
it's one of those dirty athletic
support.
things.
Yeah,
Support to live here.
So when I graduated high school, I graduated with my cosmetology license, and then I ended up getting licensed in South Carolina, North Carolina, and New York. When I moved to New York, I was 17 years old.
Okay.
My mom and my stepdad, my aunt, his mama, we drove 15 hours. They dropped me off. I was real sad.
By yourself?
By yourself?
By
or you had
myself,
fam?
but I wasn't, let me not say I was, okay. I was sad when my mom was leaving me because I could tell it was real, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I am Pocahontas at heart.
Here,
I am definitely go with the wind,
Yeah.
So being in a new city, being in a new space by myself, I learned so much about myself. I overcame a lot of the challenges that I might have been experiencing in South Carolina, in a space where I was appreciated for being different, appreciating for having a different perspective. So I got a chance to learn, to love and learn several versions of myself that I might not have been able to living here. So when I had to move back here, that's a story in its own. We'll probably talk about later, but that goes back to, when God puts something on your heart and you're listening and everything aligns, it might not, the bowl that you may want, it might not look like what you expect it to be. It might not be all pretty and tied nice, but when you really listen in and you listen in deeply to that calling, you'll end up learning that the bowl was already tied. You just had to open the next door to see that it was there. So,
I like that.
yeah.
Write that down. Wow.
But a lot of times, because we're expecting it to be a certain way, we're looking for it to be that particular. So I know I probably rambled just now.
There's no rambling on this.
There is no ramble. You're right.
Podcast.
I just told half of who I was, but yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
But,
That's where you come from.
But living in New York, so going back to being 17. So being 17, I went to Suffolk Community College. Again, after a year and a half, I became the president of African American Student Union. The kind of school I went to, I was either the only melanated or black girl in a room or black person. But in these spaces, I never felt. Now, if anybody knows anything about Long Island, I live near Ronkonkoma, so this is piece of salt in every what you're saying, and just the truth. And the truth of it's just the culture is different there. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I didn't allow that to affect how I walked and held my head. I went in spaces where when I became the president of African American Student Union, I opened up the perspective of where we all come from. So I'm inviting people in that people wouldn't normally think to come in, because this is for all of us. This is not just for a piece of us, because we all have lineages. We all have heritage that is connected to African lineage, if people really look deeply into it. So I say that to say that to create a space up north where everybody felt seen, heard, and received, and was doing that in I guess you could say a small way when I was younger, through the different camps, through the fashion camp when I was in high school, just creating those spaces for people to be. So what kind of seeing myself evolve from that and being able to bring that home to South Carolina and kind of what we've been able to do together has been really cool to see full circle.
That's a great explanation. It explains a lot about what you all do together.
Yeah.
And the reason why you all do it together.
Yeah.
And I know we were having this conversation when you all came in about the project and how your two nodes come together to make a whole. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really interesting. It explains so much. I was like, oh, I get it. I get it. So with that being said, I know I want to go at least start us on this, and then obviously from there we're gonna talk and we're gonna bother you. This is what Mike and I we hold.
We'll pester you about things.
Yeah, we're gonna pester you. So obviously we live in a world. Oh gosh, I'm only getting it right now, especially with AI. That prioritizes efficiency and productivity. Mm-hmm. Okay. However, we know art is not really that type of thing, and so, in you all's opinion, what role does art play in shaping our everyday lives, our sense of meaning, and our connection to one another?
For me, I think that art supports productivity. Mm-hmm. So if you break down an artist and a farmer, two different individuals who are isolated, they're usually by themselves, working very hard for somebody else to benefit from their hard work. Mm-hmm. So what that productivity, usually what comes in between that is usually stress, something mental, something, that's disconnecting them from the community. So art to me is that bridge or that muscle that is constantly helping you to strengthen your communication skills, your social skills, spiritual skills, because you have to literally slow down, pay attention in order to be productive. And so art usually, when people are doing it from their heart and not doing it for monetary gain, supports that process of slowing down, connecting back to yourself, and being able to express yourself. Because again, a lot of the disconnect is not having the tools or the skills or the environment to feel safe enough to be able to connect with other people. And I think art bridges that safety net for people. I would say.
Yeah.
That's
pretty hot. Yeah. I mean, I don't often say I'm an artist, but
which is crazy.
I don't sell my work. I usually burn my work or something similar to it. But a lot of times when you're doing art, like there's this bigger emotional thing that you're trying to find a way to, and to me, because I work in IT and I work in creative field and communications and that kind of thing, but that's always like doing it for somebody else.
Exactly.
And then for me, a lot of times art requires a lot of like tactile, physical labor. So if I'm out and I'm gardening and I'm doing these type of things, like it's like that change to being physically active instead of mentally active is like, it allows me that space so then I can sit there and process all of these art concepts that I have. But it only happens when I'm not working in the creative field. Because if I'm working in the creative field, it's, and we talked about this before, it's a little bit like prostituting your creative self out to the public for the capitalism. And it kind of like sucks all that energy out of you.
You have to give some of it away.
When you go out and like, actually like touch dirt.
It's healing.
It's a difference. Yeah.
Literally.
It's a difference.
But yeah, in order to produce, you literally have to reduce your stress levels. And it's like, how do I reduce my stress levels? So if you're not going to therapy and you're not sleeping, what are you doing? And there's just two things. And this is one of my favorite quotes that I said. If you believe in God or you believe in a higher being, when God rests, you create. And when God creates, you rest. That's the relationship that you have if you believe God is within you. Because when I'm resting, God is creating all these opportunities that I don't know anything about. He's putting people in places, protecting me from certain things.
Like that.
And when I'm creating, I'm allowing God to rest, to watch me use the tools that he's given me, and able to go out and express those things, whether I'm connecting with other people, whether I'm connecting back to the land, putting my hands in the dirt, or whether I'm connecting with my art form, which for me is storytelling as well as drumming. I forgot to mention that as well. But we'll get to all of those things in a few. But ultimately, yes, like in order for you to be an artist, we all are artists. After you rest, you are doing something to express yourself and to connect back to yourself, whatever that looks like.
Right.
Even if you are editing a photo on your phone, like you're still an artist because you're resting, you're focusing, you're concentrating to communicate something. And you're probably communicating with the higher source, more than likely. I hope that's what you're doing, because then it makes it more sacred on your journey. So that's what I would say.
How about for you, Miss Love? How does your art affect and influence your everyday?
How does my art affect and influence my everyday? I think for me, art is just stepping outside when I first wake up to look at the trees and listen to the birds, getting a chance to see like God's work first. And when art to me is just like, I look at art as the spiders that make webs on the side of my porch. I look at art as similar to what Draya was saying, like being able to pause, to process, to receive, and able to allow something to create. So going back to the saying of like when we pause, I'm sorry, can you say it again?
When we rest, God creates. And when God rests, we create.
Yeah. So when we rest, God creates. And when we rest, God creates.
And when God rests,
we create. Okay. So I just want to kind of explain what that means, because that kind of goes back to like healing and arts. So a lot of times we look as when we are processing things and we are allowing ourselves to move through them, a lot of times like we are also needing, whether it's community, connection, or source to connect to in those moments. And when we take the time to process, after we process, we release. And after we release, that means we're surrendering to transformation. And when we allow ourselves to surrender to transformation and rest afterwards, a lot of times we'll like surrender to it and then we'll be like, go. But then if you just go straight from the release, you're not able to see all the pieces in between in the rest. Rest allows you to slow everything down to see it. If you look at any like movie, specifically, I guess I could share like Taekwondo, right? They're always slowing things down by using their breath in order to see and understand their next move, instead of just like rushing there. Because a lot of times we get into this microwave society where we'll rush to get somewhere when we have to really understand that like presence and patience is not rushing. It's not. It's being still enough to see what is around you, what is surrounding you, in order to decide what you want to bring into this next experience. But you can't do that if you're like on the go all the time. So I feel like when it comes to the question is healing arts. Is that what you asked? Like, what do I look at as healing arts?
Just arts, but you're defining your healing arts as well.
Okay. I think when you ask me the question, the first thing I think of is when I'm doing my somatic practice. And as a woman, when it comes to healing, a lot of our healing for everybody is internal, but for women specifically, like our womb. And our womb is attached to how we feel, our emotions, how we feel about ourselves. And when I think of like my healing arts, I think of how I dance, how I move my body. A lot of people will ask me like, what kind of dance are you doing? What's the name of that? I'm like, I just call it freedom flow, because I'm not dancing based off of something I saw. I'm dancing based off of what my spirit and my body needs me to move in, to release in, to process in. And then it becomes a piece of art and it looks like a story to someone else. But for me, this is my process. You're seeing me get through like my journal in my body. And to me, like that is art that people get a chance to experience outwardly. Art is what you feel internally, allowing that to be brought out to the surface for you and other people to see. So whether that is how you adorn yourself, right? How we dress is based off of how we feel internally, right? The colors we pick, all those different things. So that's why, like, to me, everything is art, from animals, the ants that are working together, people are like, just everything is art. When you look at it, it's just your perspective on what you may see as beautiful, because then it's like, when people look at art, sometimes people only look at art from a beauty perspective versus just like, this is the story of what's being told perspective.
So looking past those aesthetics.
Exactly.
And looking into the actual
Communication of emotion.
Transformation.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
and
the
transference
story.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. And, all right. So I guess this is I like what y'all, man. Y'all making me. So how is this? And this is what I got to ask from this, because I like what you all are saying, because it's making me understand this from a different perspective. And you might want to chime in on this, but why is it essential then in our society for us to inspire people to create more? Why do you all think? Because especially as folks that use art in your daily endeavors, and it's not to say, and I'll say this, I'm not a quote unquote a traditional creative or artist.
You're an artist, DJ, and what?
But I'm not a traditional creative or artist. I don't make
Who
anything
told
that
you
goes
what traditional
on
was?
I know, but why? Look, Mike gonna get me. He's gonna get me. But this is why I said I wanted to chime in on this. I don't like put anything on a board. I don't put anything out that you're gonna go and buy.
You're not a canvas artist.
Yeah, I don't do anything. No mixed media, nothing like that. I don't write out things for people to read.
Yeah.
I don't do that. The most I do is my mouth works. I just talk.
That's art, though.
You see how I talk? That's what I do, speak to people, right? And so why is it important for us, because especially for our audience, they're going to ask it, so why do I need to create? Like, why is it important for me to be a creative, for me to process emotions,
So the universe
feelings?
keeps expanding? Shit.
Like,
Just how it works.
What does that do for the rest of the people around me?
You want to answer?
I think it reminds people that the world continues to go round, and to see it in, to choose to see it in a different perspective and color than what you've been told and sold. I think art brings perspective to people to make them realize, expand your imagination. Again, what you've been told and sold. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Like, just expanding your perception and perspective, like all of it, all the words, you know, pause, perspective, perception, purpose. How can you really get to your purpose if you don't understand yourself? That's why people go all this time, like, what's my purpose? We can have multiple purposes, but if you're not spending time with self, you will just sit here, be reaching out to, I don't know what you're reaching out to, but because I'm gonna tell you, you need to do this.
That's
You need
the
to do
problem.
this. You're doing this. You need to do this because you came here with yourself. You came here in this vessel. You came here filled up in this vessel. So understanding that what are you supposed to be learning in this time in life, in this journey? And if you don't pause, if you don't create, we all are creative, right? You said that you don't see yourself as a creative. Do you cook?
Yes.
Every once in a while.
He
Every
cooks
once in a while.
deliciously.
Is it good?
I think so.
Do you?
Yeah.
When you put your icing on your cinnamon roll, do you take your time or you just like throw it on there?
Oh, I better take my time.
Yeah.
So that's a form
It's
of
done
art.
with intention.
So,
Yes.
Exactly.
He did
I think-
magic.
Right.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm just telling you, it ain't a compliment. I'm just telling you what it is.
Well, because I'm gonna say like, and I'm gonna frame it like this for you: the normal like 9 to 5 grinder out here. I get up in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I get ready. I go to work at 6. Get ready.
I used to do that. Not no more.
You need to be getting off a lot earlier if you get going to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm
We
just
don't
saying.
talk about this.
I'm just saying.
Rest
There's a certain
and
balance.
creativity.
Why when you said that earlier,
There were
Are you balancing? Are you
We
letting
had
God do God's work?
years of
If you're doing all the work,
unions.
when is God going to have time to do what God need to
There you
do?
go.
This is why when you were saying, I was like,
You
That's
know,
why we're
you
doing
know
what we're
that-
doing. That's
Is,
why
is,
we're doing
is that
what
whole on the 8th day thing?
yeah.
Is it changes? I'm sorry, I'm swatting gnats.
Y'all,
Because it's summertime in
it's
South
summertime
Carolina.
in
We
South
swatting
Carolina.
gnats.
Preach.
All the bugs are out.
Yes,
like,
they
what,
are.
sir, we out. Like, leave us alone, please. Like, go somewhere. No, that's a ridiculous sound.
That was a great sound. I'm clipping that.
What's up? Like, please, I don't want to have to spray you or put something on you.
No, this is why, like, when you before we started, she gave me some of this oil here, and she put a lot in my hands, and I was like, I must need that.
Oh, yeah. She gave me the oil.
She felt me. She felt it. She was like, you get some of that. Because you see the stress levels are high over here. Yeah. But yeah, you're talking about.
All right, we were saying about.
So we were talking about folks 40-hour work week. Oh, more than that. You're going out, you're doing your job, and you're needing to understand the importance of making sure that creativity is a part of your daily chores.
Yes.
And what you said God creates when you're asleep.
When you're no. When you're resting.
Preach.
When you're resting. And you rest when God. I mean, you create when God is resting.
Yes.
That throws a whole nother day.
I love that.
Into that whole 7-day thing, because then when God goes to rest, that's your job to pick up the creation and start making things.
There you go.
That's a whole nother level that they didn't teach you in Sunday school.
That's why I had to put the part in about that grinder, that person going to work, getting up, working, going, like not creating the time to allow for the rest so that creation can happen properly.
Yeah.
And then we're out here dying at age
I was
55.
just about to say you're grinding out yourself though. Like you're literally grinding out yourself like a herb. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what do you do when you've been put in this society where it's like work.
Preach, speak on it.
But
congratulations, you worked a lot.
Yep.
Exactly. That's about it.
I worked at Apple for about 3 years in New York, Upper West Side, and I would say quite the experience. I've met everyone from Whoopi Goldberg to the wife from Bill Cosby, and
Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, she's awesome. She came in a whole bunch of times. She's sweet.
Go ahead.
Whoopi was sweet too. We had a really good conversation. And I'm always say this on anything because I worked with a lot of public figures or celebrities. She's told me that I need to change my words because people are like, do you don't know who public figures are? And I'm like, I think people do, but
public figures are elected.
I guess it's how
when you say that you worked on set, people need to know what you've done on set.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were talking about working at Apple.
No, because I was going to go back to this. Go back, but I was going to just disclaimer, people are just people. I always have to say
I see what you mean.
Because,
yeah. I got you. Yeah.
A lot of, like, I guess you could say my accolades, I've never posted. We're working on that. But because of the fact that people are just
people. I can tell you don't. I know you don't. And she's so professional. She's letting you know.
She got a resume that she's humble about.
No, I can tell she's very humble. I get it.
But I will say, when I was younger, I would say from the age of, so I've been doing hair for over 13 years. So I started taking clients at 14 years old. Whoa. So I got licensed in 2016. So I'm like 17 at that point. So mind you, I've been like, when I'm doing hair, we're talking like 12 hours. We're talking like, then I started, when I moved back here, I started traveling and doing hair, right? So then I'm going from South Carolina to New Jersey or New York, flying or driving every other month because I have clients up there. But it also allows me this, I'm up there for like a week and a half. Ooh. I'm doing hair. I'm taking multiple people a day. I'm not really getting any sleep. Ooh. My feet are swollen. But granted,
I'm not complaining.
Right, I'm not. You know, let me tell you why I'm not complaining.
That's hard work.
It is hard work. It is hard work. I'm not complaining because of I don't want to just call them my clients, but my tribe, like my sisters, like that's why I keep going. It's because I get a chance to pour into those people that work in 40-hour shifts. I get a chance to get them scalp reflexology and help them with their breathing technique and bring them deeper into their scalp massage. Because we hold a lot of tension in our head because we hold a lot of information in our head, whether it's our own information or information that we didn't have no business even want to look at, but it's just in our head. So
other people's crap.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so going back to the overworking, like when you get to the point where your body is so tired that you lay down and you feel your spirit like lift from your body, come back down. That's at that point you need to sit down, right?
Oh, Lord.
And I know a lot of people be so tired that their soul is tired and they're not listening to it because they're not slowing down to hear that their soul is talking to them. Right? Your soul and your body will tell you, like, I'm tired. Or you don't even get to the point where your soul is tired, right? You don't get to the point where your body's tired first. And because my body was so tired, like I had to pause in the thing that I loved, right? It was the thing that was also like securing the foundation for my life at the time, you know? But I had to pause because of the pain. The pain was so bad I had to pause. And then I was like, okay, well, all right, God, what we got next, right? Like I got to pause on this. So bring me into something that, you know, I can still use my hands, but don't, you know, I need this to be healing for me.
Okay. Right.
I need this to be just as healing for me as it is for the other person. I didn't know what this was. When you don't know what this is, you're just going to go with the flow of what you already know, right? But this is where you go back to allowing time for God to do God's work in your rest. And resting might look like going outside, going to the park, sitting with a journal, listening to some music, or also just listening to something that might trigger an emotion. Sometimes we be afraid to trigger ourselves. We talk about like other people triggering us, but sometimes we're afraid to trigger ourselves.
Oh, preach on that one.
And we need to trigger ourselves in order to process things at times, right? I have a snippet of a story about that, but
give it.
Okay, I'll give it. Because I was trying to go back into rest, but I guess this kind of goes back to it.
We don't care about our questions.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't care about this.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you like this. Tamaya had to make sure we had questions because I was acting up. 2
fingers and we gone. Look at that. It's a blank screen.
It's blank screen. Let me take a sip of this. Oh, no.
That's our Healing Springs water, y'all.
It is Healing Springs
water.
You breathe to Healing Springs
We
water?
go to Healing Springs once a month to fill up every month.
Oh, you talking about that in
Blackville.
Yeah.
We drive an hour
I had
away.
a friend tell me about it. He goes down there with jugs of the,
what
old Galliano jugs of old wine jugs, glass wine jugs. He fills them up and he comes back with them.
Every month. I'm sorry.
Every month.
Yeah. Well, it's that good water.
That is great water. It has all the minerals that you need in it. That's why we shouldn't be drinking filtered water. But going back to...
We're those girls.
I like how they said smash on that filtered water.
That's right.
Smash. Go ahead, my fault. Continue the story.
We're not sponsored by the City of Columbia Water Municipality. We don't care.
No, filtered water is really depleting our bodies for real.
Yeah.
But going back to the importance of like listening to our body. So when I was younger, I used to get nauseous randomly, and I was doing one of my friends' hair for her wedding, and this is years later. And we were in school together in high school, and she mentioned that. She's like, you used to always get nauseous. And I didn't know why, because like we would have just had lunch. So like, it doesn't make any sense. And I was like, like I did used to get nauseous. What was that about? As time went on, I learned that my nausea was because of my emotions. So imagine you just like chilling and you just like nauseous for no reason. You're like, why am I nauseous? That is your body trying to tell you something. So what did I do? I didn't just keep being like, oh, I'm nauseous. What am I going to, I did something about it, because it gets to a point where like, how uncomfortable is that, right? Like just to randomly be nauseous. So I ended up deciding on creating a tool. What I learned is music triggers everything, right? So like we listen to a song that we haven't heard in years, it might trigger like a happy memory or a sad memory, or like the time you were in that one relationship or whatever it is. Music triggers emotion. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn on my music. I lay out my mat. I'm an ambiance person, so I love like incense. I love my candles, my diffuser, all the extra stuff, because I'm a smells person. And for me particularly, I always set a mirror in front of me. I always have a mirror in front of me. That's just me though. That's just my practice, because I need to see myself in my full truth. And a lot of times I feel like people are afraid to see their full truth within themselves. And I try to not be afraid of that, because I need to love all sides of myself. So I lay down on my belly and I play the music. As the music starts playing, tears just start rolling. And at this point, I'm like, okay, why am I crying? When I just allowed myself to stop questioning and just be present, then I started to get visions of where the emotion was coming from. Then I just allowed. And one thing I do is as I'm releasing, I put my head in between my arms and I wiggle my hips side to side. And what that does is it brings your nervous system back to like a regulated state. So it helps calm you. It's kind of like a baby, right? So two things I'm going to share is like if you're ever needing to process something, you can lay down on your belly and like do your hips side to side, and say if like your partner is having like a moment and need to process, you know, when you have a baby and you patting a baby on the butt and the baby, that actually calms. Yeah, that actually calms because that's your root. That's the root of our energy system. So it's that's the security, right? So it might
you pat them.
You pat them like a baby and just hold their back, like, and it will calm their nervous system down. So it's like learning these tools. So when I did that, when I was done processing, crying, whatever, when I got up, the nausea went away. I had clarity. I felt empowered because I actually took the time to process what I was holding. But when we don't take the time to process what we're holding, we're mean for no reason.
Yep.
We're like, you know, people just be ready to go from 0 to 100. You know, and I always have a funny saying. It's like either they haven't processed some pain or they haven't processed some poop. It's one or the other. It's one or the other.
Yeah,
because the gut and the mind are very connected just as much as the heart.
Yeah.
So processing is so important because what you don't process, you can't transmute nor can you transform. So people, you know, they
say that again.
What you don't process, you cannot transmute. Therefore, you cannot transform. And if you do, a lot of times people just like complain. You ever hear people complain about the same things, and they'll get closer and closer. Half of the time, the issue is they didn't sit with themselves because they're walking around talking to everybody else about the situation and not talking to themselves. And let's be honest, like the person you're going to probably be the most honest with either is yourself or the closest person that's next to you. And a lot of times we'll go around all those things just to hear what we want to hear versus hear what we need to hear, right?
But you can be the closest person as yourself, but it takes a lot of work to get there.
It takes a lot of work to get there, and having like, you know, trust and discernment with yourself. You know, the more trust you have, discernment with yourself, the more you can easily build that with other people. My personal opinion, I feel like the issue is a lot of people are missing discernment. Because if people weren't missing discernment, it would be a lot more of us on the same page.
Yeah, I think discernment. I like that. I like that.
Because when you have discernment, you can discern things differently. And then we have discernment and understanding. Your perspective of judgment is different. Because instead of me just judging someone based off of like everything in that one moment, I can also have a perspective of all these other things that's also true, because two things can be true. So that's why I always tell people like, this person's not a horrible person, but this is also true. So because this is also true, this doesn't mean I need to treat them mean or be rude. I just have to move in what's best aligned for where I am. I don't have to be rude or be nasty to somebody else while I'm trying to walk forward. But when people do that, they don't realize they just pulled themselves back, because how are you going to act that way moving forward, not thinking it's going to not affect you? That's not fair, right? So this is when we go back into reciprocity. The way you want to be treated is the way you should treat others. So we say that and we hear that all the time, but I think we forget it sometimes to operate in the same love we want to receive. But a lot of us forget that we actually deserve the love that we've always wanted.
That's the difference. I think is a lot of times we forget that there's a certain way that we're supposed to be treated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we just assume that this is the way that people treat each other, but it's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Now, I love where you went with that, and you are so in your flow right now. Continue, sis. That's what I'm talking about. You was in your flow. You where we wanted you to be. So here's my thing, and I got to ask this. All right, so with what you all do, how is that understanding infused into it?
So, with the Art Pharm project in particular, it's art, agriculture, and wellness. So the art side, as we stated, storyteller, hairstylist. Also, I drum. I initially started off more so pen tapping. That was my thing. I was the girl in the classroom and the lunch table tearing it up. I was killing it. That was the original talent.
Okay.
That shifted because I paused, slowed down, and allowed God to deliver what I needed. And she supported me in that, and I became more of African drumming. But I'm learning multiple djembe, dun, lots of different instruments there. And where was I going with this? Art.
The infusing of the
Infusing. And then I was trying to bring it back together. That was the art side. The agriculture side is connecting back to the land. So for me, and we'll talk more about it with that storytelling, that's where Wine About It came about. So Wine About It is an anthology series. And the ultimate point of it is to tell the story of South Carolina and South Carolina's people. So I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to pause real quick. Have y'all ever had a muscadine grape?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Scuppernog.
Oh, yeah.
Bullets.
Yeah.
You know what that
I
is?
like bullets. Muscadines.
That's
Muscadine wine, Scuppernog wine.
So going back to that land part of it, that muscadine grape is very resilient. We know that you can't eat that skin. Well, they say you can't eat the skin of the grape.
I eat the whole thing.
You
and everything.
You got to do that little thing where you roll it between your fingers and make it come out.
I like
of the
her
skin.
face right now. She's like,
I eat the skin, but I only eat it when it's like.
But it's a lot tougher than a regular grape. It is a different.
You got to eat it when it's
resilient.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Say it again. Yeah, there's a point. Yeah.
It can handle various different weather types. So can the people of South Carolina. See what I'm saying? So that's where Wine About It came about. And so I worked with a couple of local muscadine winemakers here to create this series for people to whine about their stories of the resilience, whine about their stories of success. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like she was saying before, like sometimes we complain, and it's like if you pause and process and express creatively, whatever that looks like. So whether you're drumming that anger out or whether you're dancing that frustration out, those things are incorporated. And then going back to that wellness portion of it, that is the slowing down. That is the connecting in community. That is allowing somebody to show you what it is that you need. I didn't know that I needed that djembe drum. I was fine beating on the table with my pencils, you know? That was cool.
She was like, no, we gotta step that
But
up.
she saw that and she said, try this. And those things, me slowing down, me processing, me practicing the tools to slow down, like breathing, like the yoga. Y'all, I'm stiff, but she's getting me there. We are working on stretching, stretching me out and doing those things. All of that is a part of the process in supporting the well-being of the individuals. So yeah, ultimately, I would say understanding what your art style and art forms are, connecting that back to who you are, where you come from, and centering yourself on what makes me feel good. How can I feel better? What tools, what things do I need to support me in my well-being? That is what Art Pharm Project is doing, because a lot of people, they don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know until you know, until you get in it, until you get around the community that has depth. We have depth, as you see. So we're going to ask the deep questions. We're going to have the writing prompts to support you, the breathing techniques to support you. And so that's ultimately how we bridge all of those things together. Supporting people and slowing down, connecting back to themselves, connecting them to their art, and connecting them to the land.
Now, question. Kind of before you, how did y'all meet and find each other? Because you know how you find two things, like y'all work well together. Because what you have, she needs, and what she has, you need. And I've been able to see that since y'all walked into the door. I saw that. This is amazing. How did this happen? How did you all?
We met at a Black Nerd Mafia event. So shout out to the community.
Shout out to Black Nerd Mafia.
Yes, and it goes back to shout out to Quasi, him walking in his power, him doing those things, because we were very much selective in community. We were pretty much in solitude.
I was too busy traveling.
Honesty.
Because I mean, when I moved back here, I was just like,
she was home to
I didn't. Who was I about to talk to?
That's what I was going to say. Say it.
Well,
what is here?
Like granted,
that's what you need is like an event to show up at and just be like, boom, this is my community.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. I'll let you, because I definitely want to talk about that. But yeah, when I came back, I mean, it wasn't that what I was doing was going to the farmer's market, coming back home, seeing my family. Because other than that, I was traveling and doing hair.
I was going to work, going back to work, and then doing a side hustle.
There you go.
That was what I was doing. And I started doing various community events, and I started working with farmers. And then I was like, well, I need to go out and like be around other people.
Yes.
And I had been to a few Black Nerd Mafia events before, but like I really, like both of us, we were like, we're going to get out the house. We're going to get out the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, we met there, and clearly here we are.
Yeah.
Do y'all want the Cliff Notes?
Yeah.
Y'all want the? Y'all
Give
want
me
the
your
Cliff
story,
Notes?
because you be telling, like, go ahead, you say it.
Well, no, I don't know if y'all want the Cliff Notes or y'all want the story.
Give us the story.
Which one is it?
Give us story.
So one thing that we might not have mentioned is like everything that I teach in wellness pretty much has come through my connection with ancestral wisdom and with source, meaning that I'm not getting these things from the internet or from like someone else's, don't get me wrong. I read books and stuff, but that's not where the root of my stuff is coming from. So I am who I am. I've always been who I am. I've always been aware of my gifts since I was 7. So I speak up for those that are aware of our gifts, and we use it for the goodness of God's people. Yeah. So when me and Draya, before we met, 2 weeks before, I felt like I was getting ready to meet someone. I was walking down some steps, and I was like jolted. I was like, whoa. Like, what is this? Am I about to meet someone?
There's energy moving.
Like, what is this about? Okay, whatever. So I had on my calendar to go to this mixer. I was like, I haven't been in community in a while. I've been traveling, like I said, traveling doing hair, also traveling doing private flow experiences. So I bring the wellness, the flow of Goddess experience to Tampa, to Chicago, different places and spaces for people. So I'm like, okay, I'm pausing, because remember, I had to pause from doing hair. I'm pausing.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I want to get into some community. So I had it on my calendar. I had it set. I invited some friends to come with me. One of them didn't show up. And then 2 of my friends, they're a couple. They've been together for like 8 years. I know that doesn't like matter, but for my friend couple to be here, it does matter. Because when I walked in, I guess, you want to give the walked in perspective? Because my walked in perspective was, oh, this is a lot of people. I need to find somewhere to sit down. There are no seats. Oh, a lot of people looking at me. Hi.
Yeah.
I want to sit down.
Oh yeah, you the introvert.
So I'm a like introvert, extrovert, introvert.
Sure. I feel
so
you.
like I'm both.
Yeah.
When I feel safe, I talk.
Yeah,
That's
when
what I
it's-
was saying. I feel
when
the
it's a
flow
good
started like
space.
she's good.
When it's a good space.
Yeah.
So,
when you walk in and there's no open seats, that is a little bit weird.
I was just like, so what would you say when?
Yeah. For me, it was same thing. I came with a friend. Shout out to Trish. She is my lock stylist. We were there, and I'm like, girl, like, I don't really know, really know nobody like that. I know him and him, but that's about it. Just chilling. And then she walks in, and the whole room is like, who is that? Because her energy just, like, everybody's like, who is this? So I don't know where you were about to take the conversation.
I guess we'll go back and forth. So I'm walking in and I sit down next to Cree. Shout out to Cree.
Cree is great. We love Cree.
She's a friend of the show.
Cree is my girl. Cree is my girl. That is my right hand. She is, I guess you could say, I don't even know what to consider Cree, but Cree helps me with my Love Self Sanctuary. She helps me sell when I'm not available at First Thursday doing, Face of First Thursday duties and things. I appreciate her for always having my back. I know that was random, so I had to put that out there. But so that day I'm like sitting down, I find a seat next to Cree. My friends come in, they're sitting down, they're playing a card game. And like I noticed her, I was like, oh, she's really pretty. And then I went outside to get my coconut water. Or like I went outside to go do something. And then I came back because like I said, like I really do like to go places by myself with friends that understand me because I be flowing. Right. And when I be flowing, I want to flow. Don't mess up my flow. I ain't here to mess up your flow. Okay. So because God be flowing with me. So that's why I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with my flow.
Exactly.
Right? Because my flow is connected. So
She be flowing because I asked her to come sing with me and my hairstylist. She went to go get coconut water. We didn't know where she went for the longest because she just was flowing.
I think the cutest thing is that your hairstylist friend actually captured our first interaction on camera.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like our whole story is actually documented, like from beginning to end.
Oh.
Well, there is no
That's
end,
the future.
Beginning to and there actually is other futuristic stuff. Like she wrote about me in one of her stories 2 years before we met.
It's a lot of stuff.
So Okay.
This is intriguing.
It's a lot of energetic things.
So I guess fast forwarding the story, I always tell her, like, I've been supporting her since day one because they wanted to sing. It was going a little, how people just kind of come together and sing. I was in the back. I didn't have a mic, so I was just, hyping them up. And I was just hyping her up from day one, having your back from day one.
Yes.
And then at that point, I guess we were done. And I was again floating and flowing. And
I don't know where she went.
No, because that night was so random. Like, somebody asked me to be a part of a music video, like, I'm just like,
exactly.
random
stuff going on.
Just a random night.
And then,
just, music video.
I can't say no to my favorite, like, videographer, photographer, Darius Thinking Kingdom.
Shout him out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's another friend of the show.
That's my friend. He
We
has
network
like
too much.
listen, no, because I was about to get excited and get ahead of myself. But so yeah, came back in and we're getting ready to wrap up, and then she comes up to me and you asked me for my number. Would you like to tell them how you asked?
How I asked for her number?
Yeah.
Well, I was working on Wine About It at the time, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I just know that I feel something. There's a connection. And so I'm like, hey, like what do you do? Like, what's your art? And so I was like, do you write? And she's like, yeah, I write here and there. I write some poetry. So I'm telling her, about the book. And I was like, well, can you write your number down? So
Dang, that was smooth.
You right.
I was
Write your
like,
number
that was good.
That's pretty good.
That was good. Okay. So I wrote my number down, and the next one was in Instagram because the number didn't make it.
Somebody went behind me and took out my number and put their number in.
And, listen,
that was dastardly.
Exactly, but it worked out because we followed each other on Instagram.
Okay.
And we stayed connected. We went to 5 Points to grab something from Toasty Hotspot. Shout out to Toasty
Toasty Hotspot.
So that's where we met. And the reason what we're getting to is while we were there, I was like just bouncing my leg while we were eating our food, and she was just like, "Are you anxious?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Is it too crowded?" Because it was a small space. She's like, "Is it too crowded in here? You want to eat outside?" And I was like, "Yeah." And from that moment, I'm like, "Oh wow!" Like nobody's ever like
she paid attention.
See me to the body of what's going on, because I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous to be around her. That wasn't an issue.
That wasn't what it was.
But it was a small space. People are like elbow to elbow, and I'm like, this is making me uncomfortable.
Energy.
She was able to see it. And then we started having the deep conversations, and we started realizing, oh, this is what you do. This is what you're working on. And from there, it's been an 18-month sprint of us just taking those two things and sharing it with community.
I think
that's what we've done.
If I could quickly speak on how a perspective. So we met at the end of January, and we did it really wasn't an event that we were doing together. I was really just going there to support her in Myrtle Beach for the
the Women's and Agriculture Conference.
The Women's Agriculture Conference. And we were like, I was like, okay, this is a trip to Myrtle Beach. Like, let's
roll.
Do this thing. There was some other behind the scenes behind the scenes things going on. We're not going to speak on specifically, but I do want to say this: just because you see somebody thriving in their purpose and alignment, that does not mean that they didn't have to go through some challenges, some obstacles, and some people that try to steer them off their path. Right. So that happens to everybody. So we don't need to go into who, but and the reason why I even pointed that out was I think that time that we did that experience. So I went there just to support her in capturing. And we ended up doing, who was speaking at the time?
Farmer C.
Farmer C.
She is a farmer out in North Carolina doing great things. Follow her on social media. She's definitely will teach you a lot about the farm industry if you're interested in that. And specifically, she specializes in herbs.
Yes.
So she was there as the speaker. And go ahead.
So she was there as a speaker, and I raised my hand and asked a question because, of course, I have to ask a question. So I asked a question, and because I actually I've been formulating herbal hair oils for years that have been doing amazing things. And
I'll talk to you about that. Go ahead.
Again, we have lots of things to
yeah, when
discuss.
we're done, we can roll out all of our gifts, all, and just so you can just catch that. Just roll them all out, so we can just.
We got a shameless plug portion.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Right?
We do.
So yeah, I asked a question, something about hair and herbs, and then at the end, some of the farmers actually came up to us, asking about hair, asking about different things, and one of the farmers we ended up building a beautiful relationship with. Her name is Miss Carol, and Miss Carol is actually the
She's
owner.
She has 3 owners of Overwork Grown Farms, and we'll talk about Overwork Grown and those products in a few. But I'll let you finish the story.
So Miss Carol, we meet her, and she was like, "I was like, did y'all get yoga mats for this?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is ridiculous. Like, y'all have yoga mats, they're not doing any yoga. Y'all were supposed to be eating healthy. They got y'all bellies messed up. Like, what did they spent the money on themselves? A lot of places and companies and schools do
Point
that.
it out.
So." They spent the money on themselves. They didn't spend it on the farmers because they're taking time
they
away
are.
from their
It was a
farm.
retreat.
It was a retreat. They sat in rooms for hours. I mean, all
As
day.
farmers?
As farmers. It was just like gratefully, we took some time to get away, and we let God create, right?
Right.
So, we're talking to her, and she's like, "Why don't y'all do something?" And we're like, Miss Carol, maybe we should. So we talk about it. And this was the day that we decided to put on our heels. Okay. And the reason why I also said that is because we were already in our spirits was stepping, right? We were already in all right, we here. And we also had to stand up to some bullies, right? Because remember we said,
Agriculture conference?
Yeah, really?
not the farmers, but bullies, as in people that.
I'll just say this. There are some mentors that are mean girls.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And you have to learn, okay. You have to learn I can take this from the relationship and lead myself.
Exactly.
Because not everybody wants you to succeed past the box or the place that they put you in.
Exactly.
So when you get an opportunity to create your own world, that's the story that she's telling. That moment where we're at the conference, there's a lot of, like she said, a lot of things going on behind the scenes. We see an opportunity. Okay, these farmers have been sitting in this room for 3 days.
No motion.
No motion. They came here to rest, relax. We're not seeing that. So we took it upon ourselves to ask, hey, anybody here ever heard of a sound bath?
Let's back it up. I'm sorry. I know that details
y'all
might
did
not be
sound baths for
important
the
to
farmers?
everybody. I'm a visual person. For those people that are visual, so we walked into this conference room, this huge conference room, and it's over 50 people eating. So we walk in, and she walks on stage, and I'm beside her on the stage, and she taps the mic, and she asks, "Excuse me, hi everyone, can you hear me?"
Oh, so y'all just
you see, I have to set the stage because this is
permission.
mind you,
God gave permission.
That was March. We met at the end. You could really just say beginning of February, right? So this is just our energy just moving in there. Yeah. She says it. She says, "Hey, we're going to be doing yoga and a sound bath. We have a sign up sheet going around. If you're interested, you can sign up." We had 17 women sign up. 25 women showed up. And when I tell you, we have the video footage of us setting up the room. And I mean, just putting everything together to hear the women express that after it, they had.
Tell them what they did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sound bath.
So
yoga. Go ahead. Continue. I know you're so excited. I'm like, let's tell them what we did.
So what we did was, what I usually always do is when it comes to wellness spaces, specifically the one we were in, we had to do some movement. So we did some stretching, some yoga, we did some meditation, we had some conversation, we did some breath work, and then we go into the sound and voice bath. And the reason why we call it a sound and voice bath, because I infuse my voice into the bath, which takes people on a whole different experience, which has been really cool in the last 18 months to hear everybody's experience and testimonies about where it's taken them. Because it goes back into I love science and spirituality. They really do work together.
Sure.
And so these women, when we were done, mind you, a lot of them don't know each other, right? A lot of them, like some of them probably spoke to each other, probably didn't. We had women in that room anywhere from 20s all the way up until like 80 years old in one space.
Gosh.
Connecting with themselves and each other.
Yeah.
And there was a group hug, there was tears. We had ranges where one woman saw herself walk with Jesus. Somebody else saw themselves on a path. Somebody else saw themselves, like somebody else had pain that was in their back when it go away. Everybody's
Yeah.
everybody's
Don't act surprised. You know about this shit.
Nah, but I'm just saying how they just did this with the farmers just out of like nowhere.
Because it happens with everybody. It's
We
real.
rested. We went there
We
again.
rested.
It was so much happening behind the scenes. We had to surrender. I was like,
Yeah.
God, I'm showing up. I don't know, what's going on. What do you want me to do? And then once I saw that opportunity, I was like, okay, God, we locked in. Let's get it done.
Yeah, everything has a sequence. So when it comes to like the realm of like wellness and things of that nature, like, yes, you can do this down a third and gives you that result, but everything is about like synchronicities. Synchronicities are everything, whether that's numbers or whether that's just like motion, memory, all those things. So what I do is help people process and move those things. I'm one of those people where we talked about pausing and slowing down. I'm definitely gonna get someone to pause and slow down because the way I process things, I process things at such a fast rate. I have to process and slow down throughout my day in order to process at the capacity that my mind is processing.
breaks.
I have to take breaks,
Absolutely.
because it's so fast. Like I could process like 20 different things in like less than 30 minutes. Because it comes it comes really, really quickly.
And the way we are sitting in this current system is like if you can process quickly, it's like, okay, then that means you can move on to the next task.
That's it.
You can produce more.
That's it.
You can do this and this and this and this and this. And I think finding a space to just kind of like, no, I'm processing for me.
Yeah.
It's not about the production.
Yeah.
Speaking of production, we do have to wrap. But before we get there, because conversation was good, I knew we were getting where we need to get. She opened up. That's why I was like, let her flow. I do have to ask this.
Yeah.
What future do you all envision for your organization?
Yes. So right now we are working on a traveling creative reset for adults. It is called Feel Trips, FEEL, so that you can connect to these feelings that you have. That angry feeling, that's a good feeling to know that you have, because we have some tools and resources and experiences to support that anger, just as much as the happiness, just as much as the joy. So Field Trips is coming. All free events, because we have done a lot of free events. Moving forward, all free events will be on the first Thursday, during First Thursday. That's how you can catch us free in the community.
But it's not every first Thursday. It's only when you see the Color Flow experience.
I'm gonna make sure I leave work
the
on
last
time.
Color Flow experience was out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how else can we, what do you have coming up, ma'am? And how can
So she was talking about the 18-month sprint, as you may say. I wish we could have touched on some of the things. Can I touch on some of the things?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like last year, I did a sound and voice bath with Columbia College, Uhuru Academy. I've been teaching their yoga and meditation to the kiddies and the rising, the Gullah Geechee Festival, the Black Cowboy Festival. So with all that being said, like we've been on this supporting the community in all these ways. It's so beautiful to see people take the time to breathe, and they've never did their breath in that way. It's so beautiful to see people feel lighter, engage with each other in a deepened way. And I lost it. I was right there. Okay. What were you talking about? So I can just piggyback off of that.
You went to the 18-month run, the free event.
Okay, so we did an 18-month run, and right before we were ending our 18-month run, I did a series called Return to Alignment series, and it was a 3-part series that we did once a month for 3 months, once a month for 3 months, and we focused on energy centers, and it was a great turnout, just great testimonies. We're going to be posting all those things. But we needed to take a pause. And I'm like, I still want to be able to connect with the community. Community's like, we understand you need to pause, but we would like something. And I'm like, I understand. I get it. I understand what year we're in right now. So I understand. Okay. It's the year of the succubus. Protect your energy. So I was like, okay, what can we do where I'm not pulling from my energy, because we're supposed to be resting. I was like, maybe I could do something virtual. So I started really doing the wellness things through just doing meditations on live on Instagram. So I'm like, I need to just go back to like doing things on online. So what I have coming up July 26th is the pause, and what I have coming up July 26th is Pause to Process. So Pause to Process will be a virtual experience where we'll get a chance to connect to ourselves, connect to each other in conversation. We'll get a chance to process. So when I say process, where does your mind go? What do you think when I say process? Like first word.
Think.
Process.
Trauma.
Trauma, right.
Okay.
So I want people to know that you don't only have to process your trauma. We can also process what transformations have you experienced? If you're an adult, your transformation is that you grew up. How about we process that for a little bit, right? So when we take the time to process anything that has something to do with us, that's going to transform us. So from the conversation to us taking a moment to reflect on what we're processing, and then we're allowing in the music, the meditation, the breath work, and the sound and voice therapy to allow our nervous system to calm and allow our mind and our body to feel safe, to take us to a space wherever we need to be to process that deeper. After that, everybody feels light. Everyone feels clear. Everyone feels like they can take the next step, because you can take the next step. And I think we need to remember that. Like, we don't have to keep carrying all the bags that was either given to us or we chose to pick up on the journey. And remembering that we can choose to pause and process. But this will be in a space where you will receive love. You'll be heard. You'll also be around community, and you'll also receive guidance and support in that. So that's what's happening July 26th. It's going to be virtual.
Where?
It's going to be on Zoom. Okay. How people can contact me for this. This is going to be more so of an exclusive thing, meaning that I won't be doing heavy promotion online, but you can DM me. So if you are interested, please DM me. You can DM me at Rockelle Love. That's ROCKELLELOVE, and let me know that you're interested. Reason why I want to keep this a little bit more exclusive and intimate, because it is an intimate thing. It is an intimate thing, and I don't want to open it, where it's so many people, where people can't get a chance to connect, because that's unfair, right? So that's what I have going on. I think one more thing. Oh, my hair studio stuff.
Yeah, you might as well. You've got to talk about
hair. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got to do all the things.
So, okay.
Take your time.
No, I'm annoyed because, so can I say this? And then when she talks about the two products, can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
look how honest she is.
Gotta love it.
So what I have coming up when it comes to hair. So I've been doing hair for over 13 years, like I said earlier, and I paused. When I was doing hair before I paused, something that I was doing that I wasn't promoting was that I do hair spiritually. And I wasn't promoting that because I was nervous of judgment. And because I moved through so many transformations in my own life, I don't carry that with me no more, because I understand the power and the purpose that it serves to do scalp work and hair work spiritually, because our hair is spiritual. It's connected to our crown. It's connected to the thing that covers us. It's connected to the thing that adorns us, but it's also our tentacles. It's how we know our environment. It's how we know what's going on, right? So we tend to carry things in our hair. We all do. So I do different things, from creating hair baths to help literally like being two people that do a lot of work in wellness, especially for myself, doing a lot of work with energy all the time. I have to clear myself, right? We all need to be clearing ourselves. We get things that attach to us all the time, just like insects, right? So the bath I created helps bring that back to center. We've both experienced it. It was, I'm smiling because I'm big on integrity. If it don't work, I'm not going to speak on it. Just like if the food don't taste good, I'm not going to tell you it tastes good. So I'm very, because I'm really big on integrity, right? So what I have coming up is basically my books are open. I'm taking people for hair play experiences, sensory, and when you come sit in my chair, be ready to exhale, be ready to take a deep breath, look at get some nature. There's no TVs.
They get your hair did though?
They get their hair done. They get their hair done. They get a scalp massage.
I know you know how to do hair. I know.
I cook. So if I have I cook for them.
And the meal, hold on. And the meal isn't like, no, the meal is, what's going on? How's your blood pressure? Okay, this is what you need to eat. That's how she is.
Whoa.
She's very, that's why I said she's humble. She's humble.
She's very humble.
But
It's an experience.
your consultation, she's getting to know you and what you need.
You don't just do the hair.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm happy
the inside and the outside have to. And that's what she
I'm
does.
happy you just said it. Yes, I do not just do hair. Because that does get on my nerve when I say that other people say that. I don't just do hair. It is an experience. It's an experience. I help people build a relationship with their hair. I help people strengthen the relationship with their self by just being in the chair. Whether they're coming to my studio or they're flying me out to them. I've actually asked clients I've flown out to, like, hey, I wish you can come to my studio. You can get a full experience. I'm like, you are the full experience. So when people come to me, is deeper than just like their hair looking good.
You are professional.
It's so I'm here to support in transformation because that's how I supported myself as a child. Was through transformation through my hair, right? Because your hair is your crown, and how your crown is tilted is how you would walk. So,
dang, sister, I'm gonna say this. You know what word you kept saying through the entire episode, and I was thinking about this, and I'm on it with you because this is something that I'm learning. It's very important. Community. Community is so important. And especially with the times that we're living in, the importance of emphasizing community and bringing people together to be around people that can support and help them, especially with what you all are doing with the project. Community. And it made my heart happy as she kept saying it. And I don't know if you're paying attention. She kept saying to me, I was like, yes, yes, yes. But
so the other projects we're working on, going back to community, I'm working on a documentary in the 29203 area code at the Grow Pharm. The Grow Pharm is a community food force. And so if you want to learn how to grow your own food, you can go out there and take classes. If you want to take your kids out there to learn and grow, you can pick whatever you want to eat from out there for free. And there's also a sensory garden out there, so you can touch, feel, smell, taste, and listen to the different herbs and things of that nature. So it's family friendly. So working on that documentary, and of course I have the Wine About It series. This first one. This is the prelude.
Pick it up.
Yes.
Pick it up.
So the prelude was written with me and Taylor Simon from Liberation is Lit. Yes, that is my girl.
Friend of the show.
Yes, the prelude is specifically for Black women because this was just an idea that I had. And I was like, well, I'm a Black woman, so let's talk to us first. But the vision is for all of South Carolina to contribute to the anthology series. Like I said, we all have a story of resilience, just like that muscadine grape. So I am looking to continue the official Wine About It series. This will be more of a community event. So think like, instead of stand-up comedy, think stand-up storytelling, and you whining about.
That's awesome.
So that's what's coming. And again, like when you come to an art farm, event, I'll let you come on back in. Good. All right. So when you come to an art farm event, again, it's more than just music or dancing or sound baths. We have tools, resources to help you recenter and get back to yourself. So that's why we have our CBD products with Elmer Grown Farms. Rockelle has Love Self Sanctuary. She has the soaps, the oils, hairsprays, things of that nature. We also have gummies. So everything you need to help support your nervous system and regulating your nervous system, support you with communicating and connecting to community, because it's a lot of social anxiety that a lot of people have. We have those tools and resources, journal prompts, and experiences to support that.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I love tools.
Yes. We need it.
Tools.
People are like doing the work. You need tools to work.
Tools.
Right.
You can't do the work without tools.
Exactly.
That's it.
Because,
Man, y'all, we got to do a part 2.
We do.
Because it's like we could go a little further this conversation, but I just have to say I really appreciate you all taking your time to break everything down, to be very thorough. and to explain, especially for our audience. This is going to be very helpful.
Yeah.
The information is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you
y'all
for taking
doing
your
great
time out on
things.
this. Yeah, man, y'all doing awesome things.
project.
Really, I feel real. You ready? I feel really special. Y'all came to talk to little old us.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all came to talk to little old us.
I'm grateful.
I'm an agriculture
Shout out to
nerd.
Kevin.
I feel like this is
It's Kevin House.
And Savannah.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Savannah.
Savannah. Shout out to Savannah.
Yeah, man. Yay, this is awesome. I know we're wrapping up. Before we wrap up, I just want to make sure I shout out our awesome interns that are in here today. Io, holding it down.
Hey, Io.
Savannah in the back.
Savannah Banana.
And then there she is. She up under there. There she is. And then obviously
Celeb Studios.
Celeb Studios. Thank you, Celeb Studios. Chef Jay, Miss Nick, thank you so much for allowing us to use your space without judgment, without not allowing us to do what we want to do the way we want to do it. They give us pretty good expression and freedom to do what we do. They like what we do because they understand that our mission is pure. And like we were saying before you all came in, we're not sullied by our sponsors. Our sponsors are really good to us.
Yeah,
they allow
we
us
have
to
some
speak
good
our mind.
sponsors. And honestly, they've been supporting us for a long time.
Come on.
Without any requirements.
Yes.
For our production.
Yes.
So,
yes. Which is why you can come here and speak freely.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah,
And
you can say whatever you want.
Yep.
They don't care because our sponsors don't care.
They don't, and that's awesome. It makes us feel free. But I want to shout out to Maya, Skip, Mike.
Yep.
I'm DJing what, and our esteemed guest, Miss Draya,
How y'all doing?
Miss Love.
Hey, everyone.
We appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much
joining us on the Hilltop Glow podcast. Until the next time, please tell somebody next to them that you love them and you appreciate them. You don't know when you'll be able to do that next. Man, we love y'all, man. Obviously, wrapping up season 6, man. It's been a nice journey going 6 years, doing this for the love of the love. Literally, just doing it for the love of doing it. And we love our community. If anybody's interested in becoming a guest or wanting to be on the show, please reach out to us, especially in North Carolina, South Carolina, or Georgia. We'd love to speak with you. We can do it virtually. We can do it in person. We love to see people in person. So please, if you want to, we'll come and find you. But till next time, y'all. Peace.
Get your rest.
She's right.
The Hilltop Girl Podcast.